Hello, and welcome back to the We Don't Wanna podcast. This is the show where two certified dipshits make uncertified takes about your favorite series. We are your hosts. I am Zach, and joining me, as always, the last time I saw him, many things happened. It is Scotty Westside.
What kinds of things, Zachary? Oh wait, I was there. I remember.
Oh, do you though?
Yikes! Yeah, I remember most of the things. I hope anyway. Definitely.
Hell yeah! How you doing, bud?
I'm good. You know, I'm chilling. It's too hot outside.
It is fucking
it's
hot,
been
man.
Real fucking hot here the last, several weeks, but especially the last week.
Texas has been miserable. Yeah, it's been bad. I think we were at like 110 the other day.
Yeah. It was like 110 yesterday.
It sucked.
I am not. My ass is staying indoors in the AC all day.
Hell yeah.
I did not.
There were rolling blackouts in some parts of Texas. Like people were losing power because of all the energy consumption and how stupid this state is.
I mean, I would absolutely believe that. We've definitely had that before. That's kind of par for the course sometimes for Texas, unfortunately. But other than that, I'm good.
Cool.
I'm excited for I get an extra day off next week because the 4th. 4th is coming up.
Hell yeah. We got some birthdays next week, too.
We do have birthdays next week. Yours is
one
of them days that's close to mine. I remember which one. Don't test me.
Wait, hold on. I always forget yours, too. Yours is the 5th or the 6th. I'm pretty sure it's the 6th.
Wait, I was thinking yours was the 5th, so it must be the 3rd.
Mine's the 3rd.
Okay, all right. I knew
and
you
yours
were
is the 6th?
Yes, I knew you were either the day before, the day after the 4th, and I was thinking it was the day after, but
gotcha.
No, I mean I knew which one it was. It was definitely the 3rd, and you're the bad friend.
Yeah, definitely.
But other than that, I'm good. Got myself a haircut today.
Yeah, you're looking good. I was gonna say something.
Thank you.
I was just letting you finish up talking.
It's much cooler.
Hell yeah!
That was the general idea.
Hey, general idea.
How about you? How are you doing this week, pal?
Oh, I'm doing fine and dandy.
Excellent.
Work's been fine. Just been hanging out. Amanda's ankle is recovering.
Oh, good. Yes.
It's still so ugly and bruised, but you know, it's
so
like, well,
did she for sure
bad.
Have a fracture then, or no?
We don't think so, and they didn't think so at her follow-up visit, but she does go back in for another follow-up on Monday. I will say though, when she went in for her follow-up this past week, they were like, "Ooh, like you weren't kidding. Like that is really bruised." But with the mobility that she has, they don't think that there's a fracture. So, yeah, it's funny though because when she came home from that appointment, she was like, they seemed surprised. So it makes me feel like, did they not believe me that this shit really fucking hurt last week? Like,
believe you. So has Amanda been on like crutches then, or
no? She's just wearing like a
walking boot, or
well, so it's not even a boot. It's like a splint type thing. It's like if there was an in between of like a brace and an actual boot, it would be that.
Okay. So she is able to put, with this, obviously this boot brace, not a boot thing, she is able to put some weight on it, at least.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. She's been going to work.
Okay.
And like, just like kind of limping around.
You know, I hope she continues to improve.
Yeah. She's doing good.
Everyone does and should love Amanda. So I'm sure
she hasn't made an appearance here on the Game of Thrones pod. So if you guys just are only here for the thrones, then you guys should go back and
that was what book 5 she did with us of Harry Potter. She did an episode. No, wait.
I don't remember what book she did.
I'm trying to recall either. I want to say we talked about the spider funeral with her. Is that book 5?
Why would she have picked that?
I don't know. Maybe I'm out of my mind, but
yeah, I don't know. That would be book 5, yeah, but no, that would be book 6. But
wait, really? Oh shit. Yeah, shows what I remember. Anyway, we're not here to talk about Harry Potter. We already dusted that.
Yeah, we should do that again, though.
No, fuck you. We're here to talk about Game of Thrones season 7, episode 4, The Spoils of War. But before we get to that, Zachy, you had something special you wanted to do, right?
Yeah. So if any of you guys are on TikTok and you guys like us are fucking, well, I should say like me, because Scott doesn't use the social medias.
Yeah. TikTok does not exist in Scott's world.
Are Game of Thrones fucking weirdos. Game of Thrones shit is like half of my feed at this point because I constantly watch those videos and the algorithm is like, here, let me just fuck you in the ass with it. And one of the things I've seen recently is people blind ranking like favorite characters. Sometimes they'll do it on themes. And since Scott is so out of touch with social media and anything, really, honestly, anything, I thought it would be fun if I made Scott do a random blind ranking of his favorite Game of Thrones characters. This is your favorite. This is not best characters, although there will obviously likely be some overlap.
Okay.
Your favorite characters. So this is how it's gonna work.
You very briefly explained this to me, and I think I understand it. There's not, because I thought you said something about like there's like a theme, or are we not doing that?
So we can do a theme. Like I've seen some where it's like, all right, I'm gonna rank these characters based off of how good they'd be in bed.
Right.
Which is a hilarious one, and we can absolutely do that.
Well, let's start with something, because I don't know who I'm gonna get is the whole idea, right?
Right. You don't know who's next. It's 10 random generated characters from Game of Thrones from the show.
It's 10 then?
Yes.
All right, I'm going to make a numbered list here so I know where I've put people and things. So 10 spots, yes?
Yes, 10 spots.
All right. So this is just who I like the best.
Yes. Your top 10 characters.
Okay.
And the idea here's how it's going to work. I'm going to give you the character. You're going to tell me, okay, I think that I'm going to rank them at a 8.
Sure.
Because I maybe don't really like them much.
Right.
But you don't know who's coming up next.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
exactly.
I think I get it. Hit me with the first character I got to rank.
Okay. First character. Starting off strong.
Oh, hell yeah.
First character is Bronn.
Bronn. Oh, boy. I don't know if it's going to get much better than Bronn, because this is like every character in Game of Thrones, right?
It's a pool of like 80 characters.
I'm going to put Bronn at a solid 2.
Okay.
I'm going to save 1 spot just in case, because I do love Bronn. There's probably
wild.
I only love probably like 6 or 7 characters more than him. So the odds I get one of those, I'm not going to put him at 1. I'm going to save myself a 1 spot. I'll put him at a solid 2.
Okay. Solid 2, just like you, huh?
Oh, let's not be overly generous. Come on.
All right, Marjorie Tyrell.
Ooh, Marjorie. All right, I like Marjorie. I'm gonna put Marge somewhere in the middle.
Homie, I love you, homie. You just called her Marge.
Marge? Yeah, what? Oh, I get it. I did not pick up on the Marge voice at all. I was just like, why are you calling me homie?
It wasn't very good.
No, it was real terrible. We're bringing back voices, isn't that what we decided last week? I'm going to put Marjorie at 5.
Okay.
Because I like
right. I think that's solid, yeah.
Oh, boy.
Samwell Tarly.
Ooh, do I like Sam more than Bronn?
Damn, this is a solid 3 to start off with.
I was expecting some stinkers. I think I might. That's a
But
tough...
are you willing to take the number one spot with Sam?
I love Sam, dude.
I mean, I know you. You petition for that motherfucker literally always.
If we ever get to a point where, yeah, true. If we ever get to a point where we can do the character tournament that I made forever ago, if I recall correctly, I had Sam seated very high. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna put him at 1. I don't know if I'm gonna get anyone better than Sam, and
Holy
I adore
shit.
Sam.
That is that's a choice.
Yeah, hit me. Yeah. Sam is my boy.
Melisandre.
Oh, Mel. Okay, I like Mel. I don't love Mel. I'm gonna put her at 7.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ygritte.
I like Ygritte. Do I like Ygritte more or less than Marjorie? I'm gonna put her right behind Marjorie at 6.
Okay. And since this is probably not going to end up anywhere, I don't know, maybe we'll do some fun edit here on the podcast.
Oh, boy.
For everybody listening, where we're at right now, we've got Sam at 1, Bronn at 2, 3 and 4 are still empty.
Yes.
Marjorie at 5, Ygritte at 6, Mel at 7.
Yes.
8, 9, and 10 are still empty.
So I've got 3 and 4 and 8, 9, and 10 open. Yes.
Yep. Daenerys Targaryen.
Oh, boy. I'm afraid I'm going to get somebody like fucking Ramsay or something. So I won't put her at 10. I'm going to go 9.
You're going to go 9.
I'm going to go 9. I'm going to save one worse spot.
You're going to upset some fucking people. But
I mean,
right.
if they're just now tuning in, they got plenty of content to listen to me talk about my love for Daenerys. Or lack thereof.
Interesting. I was not expecting this. Shay.
I don't like Shay.
Yeah, Shay is not great.
Will I get someone worse? I really don't love Shay.
Do you not like her because of the book to show translation?
Yeah, that's
or
also
just
what
in
I was
general?
thinking. Like, I like her more in the book. I think she has a much more understandable and sympathetic character in the book. I don't like her much at all in the show. Boy, I'm gonna gamble with 3 spots left. I'm gonna put Shay at 10.
Okay,
I'm gonna put Shay at 10.
Interesting. All right. Up next, we have the Queen of Thorns herself, Olenna Tyrell.
Okay, so she's definitely going 3 or 4. Fuck, I'm gonna put her at 3. I love Olenna.
Oh, she's so enjoyable.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Scott, you fucked
God
up.
Damn it! I thought I was doing so well.
Tywin Lannister.
Oh, fuck me. Well,
I mean, the only logical option
is 4, obviously.
You fucking idiot.
I was doing so well.
You were doing pretty well.
Oh, fuck me. All right, what's the last one?
Last is Khal Drogo.
Okay, that sounds about right.
It's okay. That's
that sounds about right. Okay, so honestly, aside from Tywin at 4, I would have felt a lot better if I had put Olenna at 4, because Tywin top 3 just sounds better for some reason in my head.
I think your 1, 2, and 3 should have just shifted down and Tywin gone at 1.
Yes, correct.
Is that what
if I was re-ranking this based on purely if I had known ahead of time, I think everything else would have been probably about right. Maybe Drogo 1 slot above Mel. I could probably go either way there. But yes, everything else, Tywin would go 1, Sam would go 2, Bronn would go 3, Olenna would go 4. So honestly, I feel pretty good about that.
Okay.
I feel pretty good.
All right. That was fun.
Did we want to do one for you, or do you like?
Well, you don't have this. You don't have TikTok. Yeah, and I'm not gonna do it for myself.
I was like, I wouldn't know how that would work because I don't have the TikTok.
The TikTok, he says.
I don't have them TikToks. Hey, are you ready to do this recap here?
Let's do the thing, man. Let's talk about
Let us know
things.
if you liked that and if you want us to do more little stuff like that. I don't know. Maybe we will. I don't know how that works. But let's kick it off.
Are you going to get TikTok?
No. We begin outside of Highgarden, where Bronn wants to know what's got Jaime's panties in a twist as he finally gets paid his gold. Jaime says that the rest of the gold's for the Iron Bank, and that after the war is won, Bronn can have his pick of any castle he wants. In King's Landing, that dude from the Iron Bank, whose name I still can't remember, is very pleased that Cersei is repaying all the debt, and promises to aid her in reclaiming Westeros. Cersei says she is interested in hiring the Golden Company, which is the best mercenary army in Essos. At Winterfell, Littlefinger gives Bran the Valyrian steel dagger that was meant to kill him. Bran continues his creep out everyone he interacts with tour by quoting Littlefinger's Chaos Ladder bit. Then he makes Mira leave in tears. What a guy.
What a fucking dude.
That crackling oat Bran is. Arya finally arrives home.
Drier than crackling oat Bran, if we're being totally honest.
She truly is. That's difficult to do, too. Arya finally arrives home and has a nice but somewhat awkward reunion with Sansa. Arya is now up next on the Bran creep out list, but at least she gets...
Get in line.
Yeah, get in line, girl. But at least she gets the sick dagger out of the deal. On Dragonstone, Jon gives Daenerys a romantic Dragonglass cave tour, complete with an archaeology history lesson about the First Men and the Children of the Forest working together to defeat the White Walkers. Daenerys tells Jon that she will fight with him and the North only if he bends the knee. He says the Northerners won't accept another Southern ruler again, and she says they will if he does. Tyrion brings the bad news about Highgarden being taken, and Daenerys is so furious that she not only questions Tyrion's strategy, but also his loyalty as well. Daenerys asks Jon what he thinks she should do, and he says she would just be another terrible ruler if she uses her dragons to burn castles and cities like she wants to.
Back at Winterfell, Brienne is training Pod, and now Arya wants a piece of that action. After they fight, Arya gives the death stare to Littlefinger, and he suddenly remembers he had some pressing business to attend to. Truly, dude.
Dude's like,
that look.
Oh, I gotta go. Oh, shit.
I got somewhere to be.
Oh, I had a dentist appointment. Fuck.
Back on Dragonstone, Davos talks to Jon about Daenerys' hotness and remembers his grammar lessons from Stannis. Missandei tells Davos and Jon how rad Daenerys is and why so many follow her when Theon returns. Understandably, Jon is not very happy to see him, but says that he will not kill him because of what he did for Sansa. Theon says he's here to ask for Daenerys' help to get Yara back, but she is gone. She has learned instant transmission. Near King's Landing, Jaime, Bronn, and the Tarlys are trying to get the last of their column across Blackwater and into the city when they are attacked by a horde of Dothraki. Jaime thinks that they can hold them off when Daenerys riding Drogon shows up and starts roasting the Lannister army. Jaime rallies their defenses as best as he can and tells Bronn to go use Qyburn's Scorpion. Bronn is an absolute legend, so he manages to wound Drogon by hitting him in the shoulder. Do dragons have shoulders?
Yeah.
Sure, okay. Daenerys.
Do you like my confidence on that one?
Yeah, sure, yeah. Daenerys jumps down and tries to pull the bolt free as Jaime decides this would be a great time to charge and attempt to kill Daenerys. Drogon sees Jaime coming and would have incinerated him, but Bronn RKOs him out of nowhere, and they both sink into the river.
Gotta watch out for those RKOs out of nowhere.
Dude,
man.
Straight out of nowhere, dude.
Never saw it coming.
Never saw it coming.
What an ending to that episode.
Yeah, man, this is definitely an episode.
Wow. Okay. Are you judging by your tone and the way you said that, you're not a fan of this one?
There's a lot I like, but there's some really dumb stuff in this episode.
See, I kind of felt pretty neutral about it. I was like, I don't really see anything that great. There was nothing that I thought I really hated.
This episode, and not quite to the harshness. So here, because anybody who's listened to us talk about this topic, I don't want you guys to be up in arms, but kind of in the same way that I feel about like Rogue One, I think it is probably the most beautiful Star Wars movie. It looks incredible. It's just like, it just doesn't do it for me. That's kind of how I feel about this episode. Like, there's a lot of epicness. There's a lot of awesome stuff. The battle sequence and truly just like the entire like production that goes into this episode, I think is tremendous. And I think definitely is its own conversation. Sure. Needs to be celebrated, needs to be awarded. But there's a lot in the episode that I'm like, I don't know how I felt about that.
Yeah, I think I know what you mean, and we'll get into it, more specifics. I think let's, we start at the High Garden stuff. Let's save all of that for, well, outside of High Garden, I guess. Let's save all of that for the ending, and let's just start in King's Landing. So, I mean, the big thing here is obviously just now Cersei has basically guaranteed the debt is going to get paid off. In fact, we do find out later, that, very importantly, that the gold is not part of the attack later in the episode. Like, the gold made it into the city.
Yeah.
So, still good there.
Mm-hmm.
The big thing here is Cersei has secured the Iron Bank's help for the war, and we hear about the Golden Company for, I believe, the first ever time in the show.
In the show, yeah, it's the first time they're mentioned.
And that, they don't go into too much detail about them, but just that they are, seemingly have a good reputation, that they're a mercenary army, basically.
Right. Now, I want to ask, my expanded Game of Thrones lore is very cobwebby, if you will.
I won't, but okay.
Yeah,
I don't, but again, okay.
It's very dusty.
Yeah,
old dusty ass.
Old dusty ass over
Dusty,
here.
crusty. That was my nickname in high school. Is there not like a running theory in the books that there is a Targaryen bastard at the head of the Golden Company?
Oh, it's not a theory. That's a full-blown storyline, brother.
It is, and it's like he is for sure a Targaryen bastard, or it's like,
well,
like hinted.
He is. How sure can you be about anything? Like.
Okay, fuck off, Scott.
No,
what is that
no, I'm
to
saying like that is what he is declared to be. Whether or not that is 100% truth.
Okay.
Is open to interpretation.
Gotcha.
Yeah, what I was going to say very quickly is just that the Golden Company storyline, because there is a large Golden Company storyline, I don't know if it starts in book 5 or if it's mainly in book 5, but it's very good and very interesting.
Hell yeah.
And obviously, like, you have to cut some stuff for time for a show like this. Like, it can't go on forever, and it's just expensive and stuff like that. This probably, was one that I also would have looked at and been like, yeah, maybe that is one you lose, but also it's one of my favorites.
Well,
and I think
I remember that's actually what I was going to say is I remember that when this episode came out, you were very excited.
Yeah.
About hearing the Golden Company name.
Mm-hmm.
And I because like, you guys have all heard me say, like, I've only read the first 3 books. Mm-hmm. So I know I've not read about them, but like, I like a lot of people out there have spent way too much time like looking into like just fun lore videos. You know, I love that kind of stuff.
Sure.
So I couldn't remember if like what I knew of them was stuff I had read or just like or not. You know, but
some things about them, but not
sure, right.
Storyline.
Anyway, yeah, cool stuff. When you got excited about it the first time hearing it, it made me get excited about it because I went and looked it up.
Yeah, of course.
And I was like, oh, this is cool. Hell yeah, dude.
As far as the show goes, like, there's not a lot of here, just that, you know, hey, Cersei is still making her moves. She's still, you know, doing... as far as since she has become queen, I feel like there's not much she could have done better. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's making pretty much all the right moves so far that she needs to make for, you know, in her position.
Well, yeah, I mean, she is tanking.
Yeah.
Daenerys.
Yeah, sure.
She is just like
for sure. As we'll get to with the Daenerys talking to Tyrion, she is not happy about. And we'll get to that. Let's hit the Winterfell stuff.
Okay.
So yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I definitely forgot that Baelish tries giving, or that he gives the cat's paw thing, like the cat's paw dagger to Bran.
I was trying to remember how Arya ended up with it because I knew she did.
Right.
I was just like, I have no idea how that gets back to her. I have no idea who has it currently.
I have no idea how Baelish got it. Like,
when was the last time we saw it? Like, was it season
when
1?
They questioned him about it in season 1. And I guess he's just kept it this entire time.
Well, I mean, it's a very valuable dagger. Like, why wouldn't he? But
sure.
Yeah, I could not remember how it got to Arya, but I knew because I knew she had it from multiverses, and also from I think I remember her having
from
it.
Multiverses.
I knew she had it
funny.
from that. But yeah, I did not remember this either. Because it's not Bran has it for all of 10 minutes.
Yeah. Now, this whole Bran Mira scene. Look, there's this, like, okay, so it's said, like, they finally, like, do some explaining, like, why is Bran such a fucking weirdo?
Yeah.
Right?
A little bit, yes.
Yeah, a little bit. And it's not a bad explanation of why he is like this now.
I agree.
But I still can't get over the fact that, like, the other three-eyed raven was not a fucking psycho. Like, he was a little strange, but he was still a human being who realized he's talking to humans and needs to act that way. Like,
so you're just to clear up, you're referring specifically to what Bran says about, like, yeah, I remember doing that, but I remember so much else.
So much more.
Like, all of his memories.
I remember what it felt like to be Brandon Stark. Right. And I get that, but also it's like you're seeing everything that happens across the world. Like, you should have an understanding of human emotion and empathy and sympathy, and you should know what that looks like and how to articulate that.
Yeah, I guess. The argument could be made, to play devil's advocate here, that the previous three-eyed raven had a much longer time, was much, 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 much older than Bran, and had more time to, like, adjust to those powers and to, you know, kind of come to terms with that.
Mm-hmm.
So by the time Bran got to him, you know, he could function like, you know, normal and actually communicate with people without being a fucking weird ass. So, like, the argument could be made that Bran has just not gotten to that point yet. That this is all too new for Bran.
That's fair. That's an all right argument. And I want to be clear. Like, I'm not saying that this was, like, a bad decision to make Bran this way.
Sure.
Story wise, let me.
Yes, I agree.
Like he's not likable, so it's not a good decision if you want to have, you know, your audience like him. But it makes sense, is what I'm saying.
Yeah, I would agree.
What my issue is that, like, he's just so like bland, and I don't enjoy it as a viewer, as a watcher. I'm like, dude, this is shit.
Well, we've never the thing is we've never really enjoyed Bran, so it's like nothing has really changed.
But I haven't, like, when Bran was a child, I never really thought like, oh, I don't like this character. And even after he broke his legs, I mean, he's literally broken, but he still had these like moments of like when Tyrion gives him like the schematics for the saddle.
Yeah.
And like even in some moments, like when he's with like Rickon and Osha and all them in the north, like he's a person, and I was intrigued by his story. And now I'm like,
or like when he's telling
I don't really
them
give a shit anymore.
Like the story of the rat cook, like that stuff is interesting. It's really more like the stories and the things we get to see through Bran's perspective in some way.
Sure.
Like the lore is more the interesting stuff than Bran's actual character. My problem with this scene is just like it screams to me of we don't really have anything. We don't know what to do with this Mira character anymore. We don't really have anything for her to do, so let's just get her out of here. And it just seems
that's true.
Very obvious and like blatantly like it's just okay.
Well, what they should have done is hey, go tell Howland Reed that he needs to come hang out.
That would have been much better, but then they would have had to have dealt with that storyline, I guess. Yeah. And they didn't want to do that either. So
yeah, Benioff and Wise were like, yeah, let's not add stuff anymore.
Probably true. What do you think about this Arya and Sansa scene? Okay, before that, do you want to? I didn't really put it in the recap, but do you want to talk about the Arya and the guard scene?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's very funny.
Did you like it?
I mean, it's very corny and whatever, but it's. Yeah, I mean, I think it's.
I thought you would hate it, to be honest. I thought it was.
Really?
I didn't really care one way or the other. I was like, yeah, it's fine. But I thought you were going to come in here hot about that.
No, it's funny. It gives me. It's kind of like the callback to season 1 when she's. When she gets lost outside of the Red Keep,
yes,
and like
very much so.
But now she handles it very different because she's grown up. She's different, so like it's just one of those like kind of cheesy like callback, hey, let's redo this. That's how I took it.
Okay.
All right. What I loved though is when she's sitting down just doing like taking in Winterfell.
Yeah.
And the fucking music plays again, and I'm like, God damn it! I cannot do this music, man. It just makes me fucking cry like a child.
You're not wrong. It's very, very, very good.
But to answer your question, the Sansa and Arya reunion, I really like.
I did too.
That is a shining moment in this episode to me.
You're probably right.
Yeah, it's very good. It is very awkward, like you said in the recap. But that's exactly what it would be.
Yeah.
Like these characters, they love each other because they're blood, but they've never had a good relationship.
No, they were never close.
It's very awkward, and rightfully so, but there is a respect that I think is shown between them because they are both grown and they both know like this person has their own story now. And I really like it. I really like it.
Shouts to Sansa for not like for staying civil at the very obvious shade that Arya threw about that, and Jon left you in charge.
Yeah.
So good on Sansa for keeping you cool and not like throwing a fit about that. Yeah, I think this scene is pretty fantastic.
I love when they look at Ned's statue.
Yeah.
And she's like, it doesn't even look like
everyone. But
everyone who
to
knew
Sansa's
his face
point,
is
like
dead.
everyone that would have known his face very well is gone. So yeah, I think it's good stuff. I like how they had the little chuckle about Arya's list, and like Sansa thinks it's like a joke at first, and Arya's just kind of like,
Bran's like,
and then Bran starts talking about it, and Sansa's just like, Oh, so that was real. Who else is on this list?
Yeah.
And just kind of accepts it. I think that's also pretty good.
If anybody listening right now is new to Game of Thrones or is just now watching the series for the first time or has recently just watched it, I don't know how much like media is pushed in front of you because it's not currently running anymore. So if you didn't already know, Sophie Turner and Maisie Williams are like the best of friends. And there's some really, truly great outtakes of this moment because they haven't been able to shoot with each other since season 1.
Oh, true. Yeah.
And so this is the first time in years and years and years that they've gotten to be on set together. And they could not hold it together for this scene.
Having a blast.
This scene, they just absolutely could not stop laughing. The outtakes are very funny.
That's
it's like
fun.
Y'all should go look them up. They're a good time, and it just makes you love these characters even more, or like love the actors even more.
For sure. I've not seen that. I need to check that out.
Yeah, I'll send them over to you.
Anything more about this? I mean, she gets the dagger from Bran.
Oh, yeah. One last thing. Yeah, about Bran, actually, specifically. There is this very split feeling of humanity that I feel with Bran.
Where he
in the
jokes about
Godswood
being
scene.
a cripple?
Kind of, yeah. Like, he's like, it doesn't matter. Like, I think it's just his delivery of the line. I really,
agree.
like, it's not that it's a joke or anything. It's just... He actually
he sounded human when he said it.
Yeah. He's like, I don't want it.
Yeah.
She's like, it's very valuable, and he's like, I mean, it'll be wasted on a cripple, and it just sounded like a real conversation.
Yes.
And I was like, I wish, man.
Yeah.
I fucking wish.
It reminds me of. Do you remember the memes about Bran being a fucking idiot? About dragon glass, just like having dragon glass taped to a bunch of ravens' heads and like flying into the White Walkers. And I'm just like, no, you could totally use this, Bran. Just tape that dagger to a raven.
I totally forgot about that shit.
I love that meme
That's
so much.
So good.
It's so funny. And this just reminded me of that. I was just like, no, Bran, you could totally use that thing. Just tape it to a raven and you'll be good to go, buddy.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Let's see what else happens in Winterfell. While we're here, the Brienne Arya training.
Okay, yeah, I love this shit too.
Do you?
You don't?
Nah, I don't like.
I mean, it's very unrealistic.
Well, yes,
but it's cool.
Arya is like way too showboaty these days, and that's not what Syrio taught her, to be a fucking showboat, to be a hot dog. Fucking less little flourishes with her sword.
Okay.
And I would have been totally fine with this.
I will accept. But I need to say that what I have loved about Arya, and you and I have talked about this before, is that she doesn't become the people she learns from.
No.
She takes on things from them, and it's still her. She's still her own character. And since day one, she's this in-your-face, loudmouth kid.
Yeah,
like
she's not been like showboaty.
Maybe not showboaty, but like she's definitely like, I am okay with being the center of attention.
Sure, I guess.
And she I think she likes to live in that space. Again, I don't disagree. Like the flourishing, all I could think about when that was happening was the Caesar in Gladiator.
I see. I went a different route. I'm thinking of like Indiana Jones when the guy is like throwing the sword around. I'm just like, someone just needs to come out with Indy. Just needs to come out of like the Winterfell crypts with a gun and just go bap. Yeah. But yes, also the Gladiator thing for sure. Yeah.
But no, I mean, look, I agree. It's a little cheese ball, and like, is Brienne really gonna like push that hard in a fucking sparring match with. No, like
but
I don't
feel like they wanted you to think that Brienne was going all out, which is ridiculous.
I think that's how it's meant to be perceived.
Yes.
So that's why I say it's a little far-fetched. It's a little, but like it's still a fun, enjoyable scene, and we haven't been able to. Man, we're talking about this a long time. I'm sorry. We have not seen Arya like have a one-on-one fight like this. So I mean,
aside from like sparring with the waif, you mean?
Well, yeah, but like it's different. Yeah, and even like when she beats the waif, we don't see it.
Yeah.
So I think that this is just meant to be like hey, like Arya can fight.
Yeah.
Like look at how badass she is.
And that's totally all fair enough. That's totally fair enough. All right. I think that's all the Winterfell stuff. Let's talk about Dragonstone. So we first get the cave tour. Very, very romantic, by the way. These fucking two. Just
roll my eyes.
Get in the fucking sack already. Just fucking do it.
Not at that. I don't roll my eyes at them like having a thing.
Oh, what do you roll your eyes at, Zachy boy?
I just.
Are you talking about the cave paintings?
Yes, dude. This
reminds me. I don't know how many in our audience, I know you have watched Lost, but this is like Lost. This whole scene just screams Lost to me. And not like early good Lost, like bad late Lost.
This screams, oh shit, I let my kids draw on my fucking walls.
The White Walker drawings absolutely kill me.
Bad,
like the rest of them are totally like, it's like, oh, yeah, sure, I can see those being cave, but it's like the White Walker drawings are like just not what you think of. Or like when you've seen like documentaries and shit about like early cave paintings and stuff like that, it's just like
they didn't hire
just not
fucking that. What are they called? Archaeologist?
No, yeah, they didn't get Nico Robin in here to do these for them. They should have though. It's the White Walker specifically ones crack me up for sure.
They're fucking terrible. All right, John is like, but wait, there's more. I've got to show you my dick real quick.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, check. Look, I just drew, when you weren't looking, I drew these real quick.
That's seriously what it almost like. I kind of wish that was the direction they were going because that would have been better.
Dude.
It's just so fucking convenient too, by the way.
She looks at him and looks at him. He's got chalk all over his head.
Yeah, he's got...
He's like, blue, oh shit.
The blue chalk from their eyes. Just like he like kicks the blue chalk behind a rock while she's staring at him.
Dude.
Okay. On a serious note, she's like, I will fight for you and the North. If you be my bitch. And
does this upset you?
No.
Okay.
Did you think it would?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't like anything Dany does just
I think because. What she's... Listen, I think she is using like her position and this obvious like big request from Jon where, you know, she asks him like, you don't think you can defeat them on your own? And Jon's like, no, I don't think you can. She knows she has leverage and she is trying to use it.
Yeah.
Good for her. Jon stays firm. You know, his people have been, you know, fucked over by, you know, well, all their rulers, but specifically like the southern rulers for years. And he doesn't want to put them through that again. And she then takes the pride shot, which is really dirty move, you know, kind of like, is all this really worth just your pride? And you know what? I think that's, you know, good tactics from her. Good on her. I don't have much else to say other than this, other than like Jon's in a very tricky position here and she has kind of forced that upon him. So, you know, I think that's And the fact that she's having a genuine conversation with him, not the bullshit that happened in like the throne room when they first, were introduced.
I'm glad you called that out.
She's not being like super petty and hypocritical.
Truly. Yes.
Like bitter about stuff that's not Jon's fault. It's like this is more what it should be.
Right. Like I don't think that like the dynamic of that first meeting scene was not warranted because I mean, like, look, they have to test each other.
Right.
Mind you, I mean, we talked about it at length. We don't have to rehash it, but the way she went about it was just very annoying.
Yes.
Very childish, very hypocritical. So that's what we didn't like about it.
Yes.
But now that there's some semblance of a relationship or like of a respect being built between them, it does make these scenes more enjoyable and gives you more to appreciate in their interactions, I think. It almost there's some shit later that is gonna go way against this. It almost makes me feel like, hey, I don't hate Dany.
Yeah.
In this moment.
Yeah, no. I got no problems with this. I also don't have any problems with like obviously her reaction to the very bad news that she gets. I think very understandable because since she has gotten to Westeros, she has caught just every L that can possibly be
Tyrion
found.
is not it, man.
Dude, I feel like we need to invent a who be not thrown in like bottom 5 specifically for him.
Dude. And that sucks, man, because I really like Tyrion.
What happened to our boy?
Tyrion is a fine hand. He's a terrible battle commander or like war strategist. Like, I don't know, what would you call that? War.
Yeah, like war strategist. I don't know.
Yeah.
He is not.
You just
his
said
father.
What I did with different inflection.
Yes. Hey, you noticed that, huh? He is not his father when it comes to that.
No, yeah.
I feel like his defense of King's Landing was aided greatly by Varys and Bronn, because he did much better.
Well, and it's one thing to defend one spot with what you have, than to plan
an invasion
in an entire fucking kingdom.
Right.
So yeah, Tyrion's just not it, man. Like I love him to death, but
see, that's the thing. They don't really have. That's Daenerys' side's problem is they don't have anyone that has done that.
Well,
like even from the start, Ilaria Sand is not obviously anyone that's been in battle. Yara would probably be the closest, but she's more of a pillager and like thief than she is a battle commander, but she's probably the best they've got.
And with Elena, that was just never their strong suit. So
never yeah, you love that. Never the Tyrell's strong suit. Who else does she have? Like, she doesn't have a Jaime. She doesn't have a Tywin. Like the Dothraki, like,
come on.
Grey Worm? Grey Worm just follows orders. Like,
yeah.
Nah, she doesn't have anyone. And that
be honest, to be very honest, the closest that she maybe could have gotten to that would have been Dario.
She should have brought Dario for that. Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. Well, you done messed up. Dario 2.0. Daenerys, you done effed up. Anyway, I kind of like that she calls out Tyrion's loyalty here. Like,
dude, Tyrion looks like a dog who has done something really bad when their owners get home.
This whole fucking episode, dude. Even at the end when he's like standing on the hill watching, I feel so bad for him. He just looks like
he has the worst stomach ache imaginable,
dude. My guy just wants to like throw up and feel better or something because he just yeah, it's not great for our guy Tyrion. He is not having a good time. Talk to me about what you think about Daenerys asking Jon's opinion.
Okay, so like of course I like the advice that Jon gives because it's the same shit that we've been hearing from all of her advisors for forever.
I think he puts it more eloquently though.
Sure, yeah. What screams in my face about this scene is nobody will validate Daenerys's want to burn a city. So she's like, will you fucking validate me?
True.
Can somebody tell me it's okay to go kill people?
Yeah, true.
And it's just like, it's so on the head, like for Daenerys's character. Now, you and I talked about this in last episode, or maybe the one before that, like the dragons need to get involved. Like, she is going to need to enter the fray. So, like, I don't think that her entering battle is the wrong thing. But I think in that moment, she's like,
I want to burn
something.
Wants to go to the Red Keep and just incinerate it.
Exactly.
Yes.
And she is being told no by her hand. And then she's like, can somebody fucking give me a bone? And John's like, yeah, later.
Yeah. Yes, please, me.
But yeah, so it's just it's just more annoying Daenerys. Now, I'm happier about the decision, like the attack that she did make, because it wasn't, that is a well-placed attack. However, I still have another issue with it.
Okay.
In her bitch fest at Tyrion about losing all of her allies, she's like, we don't even have fucking food to feed anybody because all the food has been left from the Reach.
Uh-huh. She went and burned
it all. And she goes and burns the entire supply train, dude. Like,
she's super
like, I know that there's more to harvest, but like, what are we doing here?
That was,
What decision was that?
If she wasn't specifically targeting the wagons so much, I feel like I'd be more okay with that.
She's like, hey, these look important.
These look important.
I'm gonna burn the fuck out of them, dude.
No, definitely. I'm with you. Pretty much everything you said. The thing I feel like I want to address for sure about this Dragonstone stuff is, can we appreciate how Davos's line about "I've noticed you staring at her good heart" is one of the best lines in this show's history. Like, it's so fucking
She's got a good heart. Oh, I've noticed you staring at that good heart.
Davos is just... He's so the man, and then immediately after that, when they see Missandei, he's like, "Oh, speaking of good hearts, am I right?" And it's just like, Davos, you fucking rule so hard. I love that dude. Yeah, I
head on this beer.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. I heard you cracking it. I was like, how many beers is my guy gonna have this episode?
Just 2.
Just at least 16. Yeah, I think, the Missandei pitch about how great Daenerys is fine. I loved Davos, like, trying to talk wingman John a little bit. Like, it's so good. Yeah. It's so fucking good.
Yeah, I am a fan for sure.
Yes. Anything else you want to talk about on Dragonstone?
No. I mean, Dany talking with Missandei about Grey Worm is funny.
Oh, sure. I forgot about that. Oh, and Theon gets here, but there's not much there.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Let's talk about the last thing, which is the Highgarden and Highgarden adjacent stuff that's really in between Highgarden and King's Landing.
The Field of Fire 2.0.
Yeah, true. The first scene of the episode where Bronn's getting paid, the line that I loved so much was when Bronn says something to the effect of like, "Oh, and Cersei's gonna have a long and peaceful rule, is she?" And Jaime goes, "Stranger things have happened." And Bronn goes, "Like what?" It's just like, that's so good.
It's not even like some well thought out witty response. No. It's just like
what? Like what stranger things that have happened?
You're fucking full of shit. That's what that means.
Yes, exactly. Love Bronn to death. Anything in that first sequence you wanted to talk about, or should we move to the ending?
Yeah, no, nothing specific.
Yeah, there's not much there. I don't know. tell me. I feel like you have more to say than I do about this. So why don't you hit me with your general thoughts on this?
Yeah. Okay. So first off, we get another dick joke, or just
the dick on thing.
It's just his name, but like, I guess it's Braun, so it's okay.
This isn't really a.
It's not, but like,
I guess it is literally.
It literally is though. Like nobody's cracking a joke, but it's like, oh, haha, his name's Dick on.
Yes,
everybody should laugh at this.
But it's the pure joy on Braun's face when he says it that just sells it, though. This one works because it's oh, man. Why can't I think of Braun's actor's name right now?
Glenn.
Flynn. Jerome Flynn. Jerome Flynn just like, it's just like utter like joy on his face. Like he sells it like way better than almost anyone else could.
Sure, that's fine. I do kind of like this. It's very, very small, but just this little tiny moment with Dickon.
I agree.
When they're like, that was your first battle. Like, how was it? And he's like, it was glorious. And they're like, look, dude, Dad's not here, man.
Dad's
like,
not
like how was it? And he's like, I knew a lot of those people. You know, like we've been pledged to House Tyrell. It's a good character.
I think it's a good character moment for someone that's like a throwaway character too.
Yeah, who's meant to be a dick joke. It's a good character moment.
I also love Braun's little quip about men shit themselves and they die. Didn't they teach you that at fancy lad school?
Yeah. I learned it when I was 5. And Jamie's like, dude, do you ever shut the fuck up,
bro? Damn.
But it is kind of funny that they're like trying to be sincere, but Jamie doesn't even know his name. Like,
yeah,
it's just kind of fucked up.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, true.
Moving on. Randall Tarley's a piece of shit.
Yeah, we knew that.
Yeah, we've known that, but like, in my experience, flogging the stragglers has gotten production. And Jamie's like, dude, these guys just fought a fucking battle.
Dude. Like, fucking chill, my guy.
We just got to go over the hill.
Speaking
of that, just fought a war for us.
Yeah, speaking of that war they just fought, here's where your High Garden battle budget that you wanted so bad went, Zachy boy. It all went directly here.
Yeah. Yeah. Look, I'm not mad at, like, I said it at the beginning of this episode. This is truly an incredible feat, and just like very different than the way that like something like Battle of the Bastards was done.
Yep.
Just a different type of battle sequence, but still, I mean, like, super impressive nonetheless.
And not nearly as interesting. That's my hot take.
Very true.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's impressive in its own right, but I don't
Sure.
care.
It's production for the sake of being big.
Yes.
Like, because look, like, before people get up in arms, I do have a thoughtful take on why I feel that way. Like, in any great battle movie, episode, from Game of Thrones, from anything else, there's something like really heavy at stake. And like between the Battle of the Bastards, I mean, like, it is extremely intimate with like Jon's experience in the battle and Ramsay's experience, you know, being a piece of shit. Like there's a lot that's layered there. It's not just epicness.
Yes.
You know, you think about Blackwater, you know, same thing. There's the story follows Tyrion, and it follows Cersei and her decision to potentially, you know, like, take her life and her son's life. Like, there's just like there's a lot of like depth to these big episodes, and that, I think, is what anchors it and makes you invested and interested. And this is just not that. It is a cool sequence. It, like, this would happen. This is a normal battle that would happen. And I'm thankful that we get the experience, but like, it just doesn't hold nearly as much weight as any of the other big episodes.
Correct.
Like that.
I'm 100% with you. I'm not mad that this happened. I'm not mad, like, you know.
I'm maybe a little mad it cost so much, but
probably so. It's just like, yes, this needed to happen. Like, they needed a big demonstration of this is what dragons can do.
And Dothraki.
But it's just like the emotional investment is just not there for me. Like I love Jaime and I love Bronn, but even still, the time and the effort before the battle happens, like you talked about the quick moment with Dickon as like a good solid little emotional build moment, but that's like all it had. Like
that's it.
Think back to like Blackwater.
Hold on, the only other character moment it has there is when fucking Bronn considers going for the bag of gold that fell. Like, come on, dude.
Whatever about that.
It's so stupid.
My point being is, how much time did both Blackwater and Watchers on the Wall take building those emotional moments and those characters before it actually, got into the battle?
Right.
And it's just like that emotional investment. And like I like how you brought up like the intimacy of it so much more too. It's just like, it's hard to like, for me specifically, I know, and you as well, like it's so hard for me to care about just this giant CGI dragon blowing away a bunch of you know nameless Lannister soldiers. It's just like that versus my fucking guy Pip taking a crossbow bolt in the neck. It's like
truly,
like production wise, there's no comparison, and also for me from an enjoyment standpoint, it's the exact opposite, but no comparison,
Sure.
But yeah, like I'm not gonna complain about this or say it's bad, because it's not.
There's some stuff at the end that I think is really stupid. Like I don't
about the Jaime stuff.
I don't love the Bronn stuff, man. I'm gonna be real honest with you.
In what way? What do you mean?
Okay, so I already mentioned one. I don't like.
Yeah. Also,
that they like, why make that choice to be like, oh, I dropped my gold.
Bronn also shouldn't be losing to random Dothraki number 6. Also, I'm sorry, Bronn is better than that. You can call me a Bronn fanboy all you want. That's just Bronn is a better fighter than that.
I don't know that I 100% agree with that.
Nah.
I mean, we don't know the extent of the single combat of these people. I mean, like we see them fight each other, and we see one of them lose to Jorah because he's wearing
a Blood Rider, by the way.
Yeah, but he literally only loses because his sword gets stuck on his Eric gets stuck on Jorah's bullshit.
Bronn was relatively confident he could beat the Mountain. That tells me everything I need.
He was confident he could outmaneuver the Mountain.
Yes, that's and tire the Mountain.
Out. I mean, it's a different type of combat. Look, that's not the argument here.
Yeah, whatever. Okay. Doesn't matter.
So they make the choice of like, oh, we got to zoom in on the gold. Like that's like we got to be apparent that Bronn values not dying over this gold. So just in case anybody was wondering,
that thing really bugged you, huh?
It's just dumb. Like why invest in that? Whatever. Okay, moving on. Bronn running through and getting his like little kind of like moving like one shot. I mean, it's very short, but like it doesn't look bad at all. It does look easily the most like produced out of any of the one shots we've got. It's doesn't super land comparatively. Bronn uses his entire ultimate. He uses his ultimate ability to kill one fucking guy who apparently he should be in a wash.
Yes, he should.
Okay, then he uses his ultimate ability. And then what really got me, it just looked bad. I don't think it was a bad decision. What really got me is when Drogon is flying at Bronn and about to blow up the scorpion or dragon flame the scorpion.
Nailed it. Yeah.
Dude, Bronn's dive off the scorpion looked so fucking terrible.
After he's already shot him and he's coming back.
He's like,
yeah, no, it's bad. It's very
it's so
bad.
fucking stupid.
There will
like you're gonna dodge dragon fire from that.
I thought
it's so dumb.
And then they just like briefly show him like, oh, he's like ducked and covered and he's okay. I was like, okay.
The plot armor guy. Okay. And lastly, to get to the plot armor, the worst plot armor of this episode.
Sure.
Jaime riding on Drogon is absurd.
No, a decision I respect, by the way.
Okay. I'm not done. I agree with that. He's like, if I can just get there, I can end this.
Yes.
Which is okay.
Yeah.
And you know what? Let it be known, if Jaime died in this moment, I would have been okay with it.
I think I would have too, honestly. Yeah. And I fucking adored Jaime.
Yeah, truly. But like it's that sacrifice, it's his willingness to do it that would have sold it for me, because I believe he would have done that.
Right. A little bit of like the old Jaime coming back to very reckless.
Yes, like he's like, I need to get this, but also not necessarily just reckless, but like a need to just like get it taken care of, like to handle it.
Because also like to their credit a little bit, like they did take the time in the middle of the battle to kind of show you Jaime going through it a little bit too. Like he's watching all of his men just burn to ash around him. So in that moment, him making that choice of like, I believe my only shot is to try and end this right here, right now. If it costs me my life, it costs me my life. That I totally buy, and I'm here.
Yes. What I do not like about this is just Bronn magically showing up and like,
dude, like Bronn being able to RKO someone into the Mariner's Trench, the deepest fucking sea from the shore into just the deepest part of the ocean is truly impressive. Mariner's Trench, I think is. I'm probably mispronouncing it. It's the deepest part in the world.
Okay. It's definitely not whatever you're saying.
Definitely okay. I'm gonna Google this, and you fucking
the Marinara Trench. Yeah, you put that on fucking spaghetti, dude. Spaghetti.
How do I say?
Deepest part of ocean.
It's literally
Mariana Trench.
Yeah, I was close.
Marinara's Trench.
Mariana Grande Trench. Anyway, the point being is, that part's ridiculous.
It's so fucking stupid.
I love how they built to it it's it makes sense, because when Bronn was ducking and covering from that dragon fire, because that's also totally believable, he sees the horse. Like he looks up and he sees the horse, and that's the horse he jumps on, and he fucking
and we get this long drawn out shot of Jaime rushing alone with no horse next to him. And then at the last second, we're to believe that Bronn just is able to pull up completely parallel and then jump off.
I need
it's so bad, dude.
Of that with like the DBZ like instant transmission like sound effect, like
and then I hadn't even thought about this, but you said it, like he tackles him off
from the shore
on the shore. Yeah. What does this have, a fucking immediate drop off?
No, it's the
what deepest... is this, the Marinara Trench?
What is it, the Marinara sauce trench?
Dude, it's so dumb. The best part of this entire thing.
I love how you come around on that joke, by the way.
Yeah, it's terrible. The best thing about this episode, aside from the production, which is beautiful, is Tyrion. Is Tyrion just really needing to take the worst shit of his life, dude?
My dude has been constipated for weeks.
He is in pain, dude.
I think like the emotional connection there, and again, I love Jaime's thought process and decision making here. I'm not gonna call that out, because I loved that. Maybe this was the point where you kill Jaime. Like,
yeah,
as much as that pains me to say, or you find some other way to save him, but this ain't it. This ain't it, Chief.
It ain't it. Yeah, I agree completely. There, it's funny because there is this there's a a very, very well-known Game of Thrones creator on TikTok, and I think she does like YouTube as well, but she talks in an episode I watched, or a TikTok I watched. She was talking about how this is the most unbelievable thing and terrible decision making, and that Jaime would never do something this stupid, and and I just can't help but feel that like people who feel that way, I think, are just feeling that way because they're more invested in like their like for the character and their love for the character than they are like the way that that character operates. Not that I'm assuming this person, this creator would ever see or watch or listen, but I just like respectfully like that. I just think that's just so misplaced. Like it's so. It just doesn't make sense to me.
No, I'm with you. Like Jaime is one of my top 3 favorite characters in the entire series, and I think if he had gone out here in this situation, that would have been a very like appropriate and good death for him. Like it would suck that he wouldn't be in the series anymore, but
sure, yeah, absolutely.
If it serves the story and it's a good. Well done, then
think about the scene that we would have been able to get with Tyrion after that.
Right.
Like it would have served for sure. Yeah. Like I don't know. It's but like I'm like, obviously sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say like I think my even bigger gripe is like cuz I forgot about this. I didn't remember ending on this cliffhanger. It's like, sure, you're going to do that ridiculousness to save Jaime from the fire, but then you're just going to have him drown. Okay. Yeah, spoiler alert for next episode. Jaime's not dead. I don't know if we mentioned that.
Yeah. His 100-pound suit of armor that he's wearing just, Jaime
Bronn's a very strong swimmer, especially when he's in the marinara sauce trench. Yeah, it's just like, you didn't need to end on that cliffhanger. Also, it's like that bugged me more than I thought it would. It's like
there's just I think my point stands from the beginning of our episode today. Like there's really a lot to love and appreciate in this episode, but there's equally on the other hand a lot that is just extremely questionable. Even down to like one, this is a very small quibble, but something that like I kind of took annoyance with. When Drogon like first burns the first like line of defense and makes way for the Dothraki to charge through, the Dothraki horses and the Dothraki just like literally just like run through this fire. This is dragon fire. I forgot
to talk about that too. Yes. This is not normal ass fire. Yes, thank you. Thank you for bringing this up.
Dude, it's so
Their horses just sprint right through it like it's nothing.
Absolutely not.
We've been explicitly told that dragonfire is hot enough to melt stone.
Yeah, dude, it's...
Last I checked, horse flesh is weaker than stone.
Those hooves, man.
Those fucking hooves. I love the word hooves.
Hooves.
Yeah, I think you made me, like, going into this, I was like, yeah, this episode was fine. I think you made me more negative on it, so congratulations, Zach.
Thanks, pal. I mean, it's not my... Look, guys, like, if you are just now getting into the We Don't Want a Podcast and hearing us for the first time, please let it be known, like, we love and adore the fuck out of this show.
Yes!
It's not the intention to be negative, but, like, we've said it a million times. We're more saying it here for you guys who may be new, but, like, with anything you love like this, you have to have some humility and be able to talk about, like, what could have been better and what made you feel certain ways. You know, it's just... It is still what it is, and it is still okay, and I still love this show, and that will never change. But things like this just make me be like, I just don't fully understand the decision-making in a lot of these calls. Like, how did this pass? Like, how many rounds of people did this have to pass before they're like, yeah, we'll have horses run over Dragonfire?
Yeah, but it's like stuff like that.
But it looks cool, right? But it looks good.
Stuff like that happens all the time, though. It's like, you ask that question, I think of, like, how did anything in the sequel trilogy in Star Wars pass anyone's
we're not gonna talk.
I know.
About
It's
that.
just
that
you
is,
brought that up, and the first thing
sure.
that pops into my mind is like, yeah, but okay, who let that get through? Like,
right? Yeah, no, that's
stuff.
That's true.
Shit happens.
It does happen. It does.
Shit happens.
It's
unfortunate. And to your
unfortunate.
point, yes, like we love this series. Like we have to be probably over 100 hours of fucking talking about it now. We wouldn't have done that if we did not love it. But I think, to me, something that has bugged me for forever, and something I attempt to avoid if at all possible, is loving something so much to the point where you can no longer see like the flaws with it. People that blindly defend their fandoms like just annoy the hell out of me, and it's like I can't do that. If I see something, no matter how much I love it,
yes,
that I dislike, I'm gonna call it out. So,
yep.
Any other final thoughts here before we jump into that thing that we do, Zachy boy?
I think that is about it. Let me double check my.
Nah, you're good, actually. Anyway, it's time for... God damn it. I thought I had it for sure that time.
You are the absolute
It's
worst.
Who Be Thrown In. Where we last left off. Oh, boy, I like this list. Jaime Lannister had taken the top spot at number 1. What a baller. He's looking good in his sick Lannister armor. Cersei Lannister at number 2, Olenna Tyrell going out like a baller at 3, Sam Tarly curing that grayscale at 4, and Jon Snow, I'm sure he did something cool, at 5. I don't remember what it was. Oh, he talked to Daenerys, I guess. Okay. Olenna obviously can come off. She is dead. Sam
yes.
can come off. Yeah, thank you. Sam was not in this episode. The other 3 probably have a case to stay, at least a case. So we'll bring them down here for now. Zachy boy, who are you thinking should go up?
Okay, so I think that. Well, I think Dany has a definite case.
I think she has a case. I don't think she's necessarily a lock, but I think she has a case. I am going to suggest one Sir Bronn of the Blackwater. I got a new picture of Bronn.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's him laughing at Dickon. Look at that face. Look at, how can you not love that face? I love you, Jerome Flynn, so much. Look at this guy. That's my fucking dude.
That's a good Bronn picture.
Yeah. I think Bronn.
I'm sure we've said this before, but Jerome Flynn was in a pop band.
Yes, he was. He's a very good singer. We've talked. Yeah.
He
when
is.
he was singing "The Reigns of Castamere" with the Lannister soldiers, we definitely
right.
Who else do you think?
My knee jerk is I want to say Arya, but as I'm thinking through it, I don't know. I mean, that reunion scene with Sansa might be my favorite scene of the episode.
I definitely was also thinking Arya. I think she's got a strong case. I think she might pretty much be the only other one. Like Sansa, no. Bran, no.
Yeah, no.
Tyrion has a strong case. Tyrion could make it. Him and his constipation.
I don't know about that, dude.
It's obviously a joke, dude. Tyrion goes on the bottom 5, brother.
Davos, we're talking about having a good heart.
Yes, Davos always deserves consideration. Davos is my fucking goat, man.
Okay, all right. Let's start getting into this list here. Number 1 is tough for me. I mean, like I think that okay. I feel like we're upsetting probably a lot of people in this episode. I think that the most obvious choice to me is probably Cersei. Because yes, this is a big loss. She has also, however, secured all this gold and secured the backing of the Iron Bank and making moves to get the Golden Company, the best.
It's like highly
mercenary
at this point. She'll get the Golden Company because
he even tells her one, at least two.
I think Cersei definitely deserves higher. Let me make the case that you're gonna love.
For sheer plot armor, Bronn? Yeah, okay.
Is this fucking guy right here who successfully, albeit briefly, took down a dragon. And also, he was just a source of pure joy in this episode.
That is his best part.
I know you loved his character development also with like the gold scene. You talked about how much you loved that so much. How many people can say that they have taken down a full-grown dragon and also instant transmission RKO'd someone off a horse? Like, how many people can say?
If you just pitch this as like, this guy has the best plot armor in the history of the show, I'll be like, yeah, all right, put him at number 1. But your sell here is like, come on, man.
Okay. In all seriousness,
he did shoot Drogon out of the sky. That is
shot
cool.
down Drogon.
Like, that is legitimately badass, and definitely deserves some.
I
some
think
credit.
You're probably right. I think Cersei, despite the loss of this battle here, I still think Daenerys took some much bigger losses.
Oh yeah.
Jaime is sinking to the bottom of an ocean. Jon didn't do a whole lot. Arya didn't do a ton. I think it's probably Cersei at 1.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
And
I think people are gonna be like, in this episode, Cersei.
Yeah. Well, they can say whatever they want because we are the ones doing the list. And I think Bronn goes too, because I do legitimately. I think his taking down Drogon is like a big deal. If nothing else, it proves that the dragons can be injured and can be defeated for their cause, you know?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm okay with that. I am okay with that. I am going to very strongly petition for Daenerys at 3, though. Daenerys has finally gotten to enter the fray.
Oh, yeah.
She does win her first battle that she's gotten to take place in. She's unleashed the Dothraki on the Lannisters. Like, this is a momentous moment for her, and it's epic.
Okay.
Like, I do think that that has a lot more credit than you probably want to give it, but I think it's there.
My main arguments against her was just, like, obviously she finds out about the Highgarden stuff. She's questioning the loyalty of everyone around her. Not everyone, but Tyrion, I guess you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Like, she's still in a bad way. I'll shake to what you're saying about, you know, this is her first big battle. She got the Dothraki involved, and it, you know, mostly went very well. She's on the ground pulling a fucking spear out of her dragon, so didn't go that well. But what I just remembered was I did actually mostly enjoy her scenes, like with Jon in the cave, and, you know, her kind of calling out Tyrion. So I will shake to Daenerys going at 3. I think Jaime, because Jaime was going to be my next argument. I think Jaime has to go next.
Can you elaborate on that?
No.
Jaime got his shit pushed in, dude.
Yes, but like,
and didn't have any exceptional moments.
No, I think all of his scenes were just really, really solid. We talked about the him and Bronn and Dickon scene being a solid emotional moment. Like I said, I really like that they had him go for it in the battle. Like, I think just like him trying to rally the troops, everything's kind of falling apart around him. I'm
going to be honest with you, man. I don't know that outweighs my favorite scene of the episode with Arya.
You're talking Arya.
Yeah. That scene is just great. It's a good fucking scene.
That good.
I think I like nothing that.
I think I like the Daenerys Jon scene more, to be honest.
With the cave paintings?
Well, let's toss aside the cave painting part for a minute.
One of them's next to this badass statue of Ned. And the other one's next to fucking finger paintings done by a 3-year-old.
Yeah, well, a 3-year-old also did Ned's face. They didn't know what he looked like at all. Okay, that
3-year-old's dead. So.
Let's compromise then and put Davos at 4 because
Who are you?
Scott,
get the fuck out of here.
Perfect. Everyone else has flaws except Davos. He's still hitting on Missandei. He's wingmanning for Jon. He's just being the best. So Davos goes 4. Who are you thinking at 5? Arya? Yeah, I could shake to Arya. I mean, I really think Jaime has a strong case, but if you feel very strongly about Arya, I can shake to that.
I respectfully resign my position.
Okay, all right, I'm joking. Although I do think Davos should go 5.
Over Jaime?
Well, I think Jaime should go 4, and if you don't want him at 4, then I don't want him on this list at all. That's my form of protest.
So Jon's not going on here.
I don't think Jon does enough.
Yeah, I don't think he does enough either.
Let's lose Jon. I love Jon, but it wasn't really a Jon episode.
I think Jaime goes next.
As much as I love Davos, I don't think I can, in good conscience, squeak him on the list. Are you sure about Arya being ahead of Jaime? Because that's where I'm having the biggest trouble. You really liked that scene in the crypt.
I did really like that scene. And also, like, this is not necessarily part of my case because I think just that scene alone does it for me. But like, she is somewhat on level footing with Brienne, who's a great warrior, and we get to see that in display.
I think that's why I don't want her at 4. Fucking old hot dogging ass fighting on par with the person who beat the Hound. By the way, she's supposed to be an assassin, not a like fucking frontline warrior.
She's not a frontline warrior. She's not using a shield and a sword. She's just being evasive and can handle her own in single combat. Like, it's not that far out of reach. I would like to say that I don't think that if it was like, all right, get in the arena, it's to the death, I don't think that Arya wins that fight.
Well, no, of course she doesn't, but I think the show wants us to believe that she could and is portraying it that way, and that bugs me.
Okay, well, it doesn't change the fact that it is what it is and that she is a badass. So there's addition to the argument there.
I'm not, between 4 and 5, I'm not going to make that big of a stink about it. Are we sure we can't put Davos number 1? Just as a quick vibe check. Just a quick vibe check.
Jaime ends this episode potentially drowning in the fucking marinara sauce.
We already talked about this. He's fine. We cleared that mystery up for you. Spoiler alert. But Davos won? Anyone? Any takers? Any takers?
I think Sir Pounce goes.
He's very funny. All right. That's going to do it for Who Be Thrown In. That is maybe a surprise for some. Cersei at 1. She was barely in this.
If you listeners and watchers just get past the recency bias of the epicness of the of like the Daenerys win.
The gold made it safely into King's Landing. Remember that. That's a big deal. Daenerys literally burned her own food.
Yeah. Shit, we don't have no more food. If we can't have it, nobody can.
Nobody can have it. Yeah, she is that kid who's just like, if I don't get to play with it, no one gets to play with it, and like smashes the Legos.
Yeah.
Okay. Cersei at 1.
Dude, that is the most clear depiction of Daenerys.
Yes, true.
Ever. I can't be the fucking queen. I can't win battles. How about I just blow everything up instead?
How about I burn that shit down then? All right, well, let me try this one more time. I'm going to get through one of these days. Cersei at 1, Bronn of the Blackwater, Sir Bronn of the Blackwater. Sorry, Bronn. At 2, Daenerys Storborn Targaryen thingy. At 3, Arya at 4, and Jaime Lannister at 5. I don't know how we ended up there, but I'm here for it. Zachy boy, what are you rating this episode?
Are we going back to rating this amongst Game of Thrones episodes?
Yeah, don't ask me these. I was about to ask you, do you remember what I rated last episode? Yes.
You liked last episode. I think you did 7.5 last episode.
Let's try and rate them relative to Game of Thrones.
Okay, I'm gonna go a 5.
I think I liked it slightly more than you. I'll go 5.5.
Okay.
I think
that's fair. I think that's probably going to catch a lot of people off guard because a lot of people think of the epicness and want to rate high because of that, but it's not enough.
It wasn't my least favorite part of the episode, but I was like, I did not care for it. Last episode for sure was a better season 7 episode. But to be fair, this is 4 episodes in. This is at least the second best episode of season 7.
Sure.
So it's got that going for it.
Yeah.
Sure. Take us out of here, buddy boy.
Yeah, if you are not already following us on the Twitter and on the Instagram, you can do that at We Don't Want a Pod. Go hang out with us. We'll post weekly updates on our episodes and occasionally some fun bullshit there. You can also request to join the Discord if you'd like to hang out with us and discuss the episodes or any other fandoms or fun, dumb shit that you guys would like to talk about. Just shoot us a DM or an email and we will send you an invite link to the Discord. If you guys are new here, please consider subscribing, clicking the like button. That does go a long way for a smaller creator like us. We definitely appreciate it. And we will see you guys next time. That's going to be it for us. Thank you guys for watching and listening. Bye-bye.
Shouts to Davos.
The true goats.
You staring at her good heart. That was a terrible death.
That was really bad, dude. That was fucking terrible, my guy.
So bad. I feel bad for Davos.